Hello, Movie Crusaders, and welcome to our latest episode. My name is Sean Waskrug, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of our most anticipated films of the year, Bullet Train. This is a movie that was on both myself and Brian Michaels' most anticipated films of 2022. This is a film that just looks like a fun, action-filled ride on a train. It's directed by David Leitch. Most people know David Leitch from obviously Deadpool 2, I believe. Also the John Wicks. He's a very fun action guy. He's got great humor, very funny in terms of his action sequences as well, and also really knows how to direct action films to keep them fun and exciting. And this is another movie. Since Brian and I saw the trailer for Bullet Train here a couple months back, this has been a movie that has been very, very high up in our anticipated lists. Brad Pitt is starring in this film, and one thing that Brian and myself have both been very, very high on is we love Brad Pitt when he is fun Brad Pitt. And what we mean by fun Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt when he looks like he's having just a fun time. It's a lieu of like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where you can just tell he's having a blast shooting this character. And Brad Pitt looks like he's having a blast playing this character dubbed Ladybug in the film. I know they say his name at some point in the movie, but he's, for the most part, dubbed Ladybug throughout the film. The main plot point of Bullet Train is we're following 5 assassins who all board this bullet train in Japan, and soon to find out that they're all connected in some weird way, and it's kind of that ride of finding out what their connections are all the way through. Obviously, the main character is technically Brad Pitt, but we also follow the characters of Prince, played by Joey King, Tangerine, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lemon, played by Brian Tyree Henry, and Kamara, played by Andrew Koji, as well as other characters in the film as well. One thing that Brian, I know I keep bringing Brian up because he doesn't like shooting reviews, so I'm going to bring Brian up a lot in this. One thing that Brian and I have been saying that we've been wanting for so long, and we've been begging for it, is we wanted a movie that was really going to elevate and show off Aaron Taylor Johnson and kind of push him to the limelight in terms of getting bigger roles and being noticed, because we really, really enjoyed him ever since, his days of Kick-Ass, and he was Quicksilver in Avengers, Age of Ultron, but he wasn't utilized really well. But we wanted a movie that really showed Aaron Taylor Johnson's performances, his abilities, because the dude's gotten himself in great shape since his Kick-Ass days, and we want him to be elevated. Bullet Train does exactly just that. The characters of Tangerine and Lemon, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree, are to me a highlight of this film. I could watch these two bitch and banter back and forth all day. They are dubbed the twins in the film, and I didn't know how much I would love this twosome until I got to watch them talk and interact with each other. And anytime Tangerine and Lemon weren't on screen, I was kind of missing them, and I really wanted them back on screen because I loved the chemistry between these two as they played throughout the film. They're two of the funniest people in the film. I loved every conversation between Tangerine and Lemon. Brad Pitt is Ladybug. Like I said, Brad Pitt's having a ball playing this character. He's playing a character who basically just thinks he's always got bad luck on his side. Everything bad that can happen to him happens to him. Dubbed why he's called Ladybug, because ladybugs are supposed to be good luck, so it's kind of an entendre about that. But Brad Pitt is just he's having so much fun, and like I said, a fun Brad Pitt is a great Brad Pitt. Joey King as Prince. I'm not the hugest Joey King fan, but now that I've seen her in movies like this and also The Princess, even though she's the prince in this movie, I'm kind of turning around a little bit on Joey King. I mean, I'm just glad I'm seeing her in stuff that's not the freaking, I think it's The Kissing Booth, right? Joey King's from The Kissing Booth, I believe. Yeah, Kissing Booth. I mean, if she can stay more on track with movies like this and even The Princess, and less on The Kissing Booth, Joey King is an actress that I could probably get behind as someone that I would enjoy seeing from time to time. On top of Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Brian Tyree Henry, Hiroki Sanada, who I'm a huge fan of, pops in here and there. Bad Bunny. Not necessarily really a big fan of his music, but I think he actually has a great solid part in the film as well. Zazie Beetz pops up. Mazi Oka from Heroes pops up in the film. One character, though, if I had to come up with a negative for this film, and this is going to sound like I'm, doing a repeat, is we got Karen Fukuhara in this film. Many people will know Karen Fukuhara from Amazon's The Boys. She's a fantastic actress. Her smile is infectious, and she's great at action. She was also in the poorly made Suicide Squad. She was, oh god, whatever the hell that character's name is, Katana. She's Katana, where her blade traps your souls. She is an actress that is someone who can play these characters and can be in a movie like this and actually have a fun, overall experience. Much like Jessica Henwick in The Gray Man, you have an actress who is great at, fighting and could really elevate a role, and you put her in a role that really doesn't do much other than just kind of being there. And Karen Fukuhara is an actress that really should be utilized to her fullest potential, and she basically plays the one thing I was hoping when I saw the posters, that we were under the assumption that no, she's going to be more than that, but she really wasn't, which was she was basically a trained stewardess, train attendant kind of thing, where she just kind of pops in and out here or there, and is ultimately underutilized in the film overall. So there was definitely a part of the film that I can really knock on. It was the lack of use of Karen Fukuhara. I keep saying the name wrong. But nonetheless, the film itself, the story is done at a frantic breakneck speed. It does kind of run the storyline of you're telling this main story and then something happens and then you sidetrack and tell that story and then bring it back and then you keep going and then you get sidetracked and you go to another story. So it's a little frantic storyline based, which is not going to work for everybody. I think it worked for me. I think it kept the movie kind of alert and alive and kept you on your toes. But that kind of franticness can really derail a lot of people from watching the movie who really just need everything kind of done linearly and not just kind of all over the place. And if you can get on board with that, I think you're going to embrace Bullet Train a lot better than others. Because of that franticness, the movie is kind of all over the place. But depending on how some movies do it and it fails tremendously and it just doesn't work. I think Bullet Train, for the most part, I think it works really well at bringing all these different elements and all these different storylines and bringing them together to work cohesively as one big long story, where Brad Pitt might be the main character, but it's ultimately all these characters who are the leads in the story, and Brad Pitt's just kind of the focal point. Like I said, all of them, for the most part, especially Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry and Brad Pitt, put on great performances. I enjoyed those three. Their chemistry all together worked great throughout the whole film. And I really hope this really elevates Aaron Taylor Johnson's performances up into another level so he gets more big roles like this. The action is fun. There's a lot of ooh moments throughout the movie. It's violent and bloody in the ways that everyone loves them. If you love John Wick, you're going to love this. And overall, I just had a blast watching Bullet Train. I laughed. I laughed the hardest watching Bullet Train since Jackass Forever came out earlier this year. This is probably the one movie where I think I busted out laughing a lot more than I have in a long time. There's a lot of surprise cameos in the film as well that people pop up, you're like, hey! And then they're gone kind of thing. Overall, though, if you want a high-octane, fun-filled ride of action, blood, violence, and straight-up comedy and very fun performances overall from Brad Pitt and everybody else, then I strongly urge you to check out Bullet Train, because it's a fun summer ride to end the summer for the most part, because let's face it, I'm looking at the release schedule for the rest of August. Not a whole lot there to really get excited about. So Bullet Train really is kind of the last stop before we end the summer ride. And I think it does a great job of ending the summer on a high note. For me, I'm going to give Bullet Train an 85%. If you're a fan of Brad Pitt or David Leitch or any of the actors except for Karen Fukuhara that I mentioned earlier, go out of your way to check out Bullet Train. You will not be disappointed. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos pop up on the Movie Crusaders. And of course, you get to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Reviews for Prey, and then also a review roundup for Apple's Luck, Hulu's Not Okay, and Peacock's They Them are on the channel right now. Next week, the only thing that really comes out is Day Shift on Netflix, and I guess also Secret Headquarters on Paramount Plus, which I don't know if I'll be checking that out or not. But that's really it. And looking at the rest of the month of August, I mean, you got Beast and Me Time, The Invitation, Samaritan, 3,000 Years of Longing. I mean, it's really not doing a whole lot in terms for August to get excited about. But nonetheless, if I see any of those movies, I will pop them up on the review or on the channel for you guys to check out. In terms of our shows for the Movie Crusaders, Brian and I are going to be taking the month off to kind of reevaluate what we want to do show-wise, on whether we want to do week-to-week shows still, or just kind of pop up and do special shows when something pops up that we want to talk about. Nonetheless, we got plenty of more stuff to come up on the channel, and feel free to check out everything that we've done in the past. And until next time, in case we don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.